Good evening, everybody. This is video number 21. This was part of my 21 videos that I put myself into. Like I will work on my self-exposure and self-expression and be more alive and more vivid and start sharing things from my life, where I hope that I will bring some awareness to people and help them see something for themselves. So now the truth of the matter is I have done more than 21. I must be over like 30 videos, just I haven't labeled them as videos that I would put on my 21 video challenge. And today's video is about the 5 qualities that make a good father. I hope that this helps somebody to see something for themselves, or some areas that they have some blind spots and they want to work on. And without further ado, I will jump straight into these 5 qualities. Now, before I do that, I would like to speak for the people who don't know me, because I have a lot of new friends now on Facebook. So for people who don't know me, my name is Vasilios, and I'm running a life coaching business where I share a lot of stuff about men's, like how to deal with things, men's health, in regards to relationships, in regards to leadership and ways of being in general. And so this is one of the videos where I hope I can help somebody out there when they listen. So without further ado, let's go in. So first quality a man needs to have to be a good father is protector. So protector, though, is the type of guy who doesn't only protect you from, but protects you also against stuff. Protector in this case might mean, well, they get into your nerves sometimes because they say things to you like, what time are you coming home? What are you doing now? Why you didn't pick up the phone when I was calling? It might be annoying, because when you're a teenager and you hear him speaking like that, it is annoying because you're going through your independent kind of years. But as you grow up and you put yourself into their shoes, you start seeing how it feels to care for your people. Now, earlier I said it is about protecting you from and against. So protecting you from is like protecting you from something going wrong in your life, and they wanna protect they are proactive, to get there before you, so you will not have to deal with it. But on the other hand, they protect you also from, because when you're your father in the house, when problems knock on your door, first they affect you and then the rest of your family. So that's why you're one of the major pillars in the house, you and your wife and your partner. So protecting from your children or your partner sometimes is that some stuff you deal with them yourself, and you deal them in silence, so they won't have to deal with them themselves. There are some things that have gone within the family between mom and dad that you never heard of, because they didn't want to trouble you, they didn't want to make you worry, because your parents want to create that safe bubble, that safe space when you are born and raised. So that's why being a protector as a man and know when to open your mouth and when to shut it, it transforms something. It transforms something there in the process. Now, second quality as a father, it's a provider. Okay. So, but now provider, you will hear it a lot, it being like a quality many women like in a man, but that's like for another discussion actually. But provider doesn't has to do necessarily with money. Money, it's not about a challenge like how much money I earn, so I'm the biggest provider in the house. Okay? Provider in this case is being someone who can offer not only a monetary way. Okay, money is more tangible, to be honest, in some cases, but it's not that. It's being able to offer wisdom. Okay? Your wisdom in life. Being able to provide counsel for something that someone else in the family doesn't know. Being someone who is able to provide camaraderie. Being able to provide a new perspective to a situation, because you have more experience than your children or your wife or your partner or whatever. Being able also to provide insight. Okay? So providing is not only Providing is not only in terms of money, because you might see somebody having a lot of money that he can throw at the situation to solve it, but when you ask him to be like warm with you, I understand you, to have this build that camaraderie, it's not there, because he doesn't know how to deal with it. And it's okay, it's a quality, it's just a muscle there that needs a bit more training. On another note though, when you want to be with a guy who's not good in providing, he's more a taker than a giver, and you see him that he's kind of stringy when he's 20, be sure that he will be stringy when he's 70, and that won't change much. So be careful around what the type of guy you as a woman you would like to marry and have children with. Like, provider needs to be someone who cares more for others than himself, especially when he wants to build a family. And that brings us to the third type of the third quality, a man must have, and that is the quality of a promoter. Now, promoter starts with a very, very classic sentence that you will hear a lot around, especially with public speaking and when you're doing a job that has to do with being of service for others. So that sentence is like, it's not about you. Being a promoter, in this instance, since I mentioned money earlier, is like, you might be like in the house, you might have like a good job, and you have some money, you have wealth, you have contacts, you know people, you know things in general, and then in that moment you realize that it's not about you looking good within the family. It's about you using what you have so that your family can look good. Okay, so you give them the money they need, like to go and study something, you bring them in contact with people, but in the end of the day, it's like, it's not about you. I'm a married guy, I'm looking good because I have a family, so someone that support me. No, it's not about you. It's about how much you can support your family, how much quality time you spend with them, so for them to feel appreciated, acknowledged, and being taken care of. Now, this also leads us to the fourth quality, which has to do with being a priest in the household. Now, that may sound strange for a lot of you guys, but being a priest is not necessarily someone who prays to God all day. And as a bynote to that, it's really funny, because when you see like a woman praying, okay, usually she speaks about herself and how she feels to God, but when a guy prays to God, it's more like, God, I need your help. Why? Yeah, because I need to find 150 pounds to pay my bills by Friday night. And yeah, I would appreciate if you can help me in the name of, Lord Jesus. Thank you very much. So you will see that we're more like practical. Now, I have a problem, I need a solution, and pray to God. And being also, the interesting thing in that is like being a priest. It's not necessarily, as I said, about the religious part of it. It's about the acknowledging the greater picture, because your children eventually will come asking you about some stuff that they know, and you might not know them yourself. For me, the way I say it as well is that being a priest is also the fact of like having faith in your ability to accomplish something, and also understanding that some things you won't be able to accomplish yourself, but having faith that you will find the right people, that you will find the resources, having faith in your skills, in your ability to provide results. Well, also what is interesting here is that back in the ancient days, the domus, the big house, the man was responsible for keeping some certain fires on the altars to the gods alive. So he was kind of the person within the house who was leading all the religious ceremonies every house was supposed to be doing throughout the year, especially during the Roman era and the ancient Greek era. You would see that a lot. But I would say priest in this age has to do more with instilling values, beliefs, and qualities to your children. And now, my favorite one is the fifth quality, which is being a prophet. But a prophet, which is I find it really, really beautiful. It means basically being able to speak to your children's greatness. Okay. It means also being able to speak to your partner's greatness. Being a prophet is that you see your child has a talent. Okay. You help support that talent to grow into something, and you always speak to your child and in terms of like you will be able to accomplish something, you will be able to transform. Believe, because the truth of the matter is that you will see that the children, I think before the age of 14, they have heard about 150,000 times no from their parents, and the average, and about 5,000 yes. I do understand that there is also always a good intention even behind negative and bad things we say to others, which has to do like, I want to protect you, so that's why I say no, don't do that. But imagine if you can transform and your child into like a free thinking person already from that age, where you kind of reverse that, like 150,000 yes, do this, and 5,000 no's, but to be valuable and quality no's. But being able to speak to their greatness. You're also your partner. She comes home, she gets the offer for a promotion which will bring more responsibility. She's not sure of herself if she can accomplish that, because her mentality might be, I'm not good enough. And she might not be able to understand the reason why the business, the company has chosen her to fill in a position of the next level. And then your job as a partner, as her husband, again, you go into the promoter aspect and the provider, okay? You tell her, like, you use real life examples of how she runs the house, how she organizes stuff, how many years she's been in the company, how much effort sometimes she puts, because it's not only about how long you spend in there and you do your thing, it's also how much effort, how much love, how much committed you are, how much you care. All these things, they play the part. And in that moment, you advise her, you provide, you lend your ears for her to listen, but also like kind of push her a bit to start understanding. They need to see the greatness, okay? There have been a chance, for example, at school, when like, oh my God, there are so many huge examples. John Lennon, Oprah, when they went to school and the people told them, like, you won't amount anything in this world. But the parents were there and they kept saying to them, don't listen to them. You're great as you are. You will accomplish. Because in the end of the day, to be honest, which parent doesn't want to see his children accomplishing something in life and becoming somebody in life? But imagine, like, there is a little secret there, that the more struggle there is, the more like opposition there is, the more effort you push to break through, and that's what you want. And that's the sixth thing that a man has to deal with, and it is like breaking the mold, breaking the what is known. Because I do understand that there are a lot of guys out there that the people that see them, the people that come in contact with, they tell them, like, you won't amount to anything, you cannot have your own family, you're not good for a family. But these people might love the chance of having a child, might love to have the chance to have a family, so they can instill to them qualities. That saying that says, be the father you never had. Instill the qualities in your children that you never got. They want the best for the next generation that will come out of them. So this is breaking the mold. Like, don't be like how people told you that, the people see you, because people will always have an opinion about you, whether you do something or you choose not to do something. The secret there is a choice, okay? And as long as we hear to other people's opinion, we don't go for the things that matter to us. And that's the sixth quality for me, which is like being the champion, fighting to break the mold of what there is out there. Now, these are a few of the things I wanted to share with you. I hope I helped somebody through this video tonight. I wish you a good night, and I hope to see you soon again, where we'll share more things. Have a good night, everybody.